They won't say it. They'll never say it not because they're hiding, but because they're testing. A smart woman never reveals her desires directly. She watches, she waits, she studies your reactions, not to your victories, but to your discomfort, not to your words, but to your absence of noise. What she wants isn't always found in affection. It's buried in your discipline, in your detachment, in your refusal to beg. She doesn't want a perfect man. She wants a man who has faced chaos and didn't flinch. So today we dive deep into the 7 silent desires of a smart woman, and more importantly, how the stoic man commands them without ever chasing one. Emotional self-control over emotional chaos. When a smart woman falls for you, it's not because you wear your heart on your sleeve. It's because you can contain it, because you've trained yourself to not react to feel emotion deeply, but to respond with mastery. This is rare, and rare is irresistible. Women are biologically wired to assess emotional security, because that security determines survival. But the modern test is more psychological than physical. She might frustrate. You delay her replies or challenge your opinions. She does not want to destroy you. She wants to see if you destroy yourself. The Stoics taught, he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. When you show gratitude under stress, calm in chaos and patience in uncertainty, she feels it. She relaxes because in your stillness, she senses something divine, a man who rules himself. That kind of restraint is more powerful than any flex, louder than any anger, and she won't say it, but she'll stay for it too, purpose that transcends her, a man. She feels it without a mission, is a man without gravity. He floats from woman to woman, idea to idea, without roots, and smart women, they feel it immediately. She wants to know. Would you still matter if she left? Would your identity collapse without her attention? Or would you continue like a river, cutting through stone, carving your destiny regardless of who applauds? Seneca wrote, "It is not that we carving your destiny are given a short life, but that we make it short by wasting time. She is watching what you do with your time. Are you building? Are you reading? Are you strengthening your mind and body? Or are you waiting on her text to give your day meaning?" Purpose is masculine gravity. It creates polarity. The deeper your mission, the more she respects your orbit. She won't say this, but she wants to be second to your destiny. Not because she wants less of you, but because that's where she knows your greatness is born. A man who walks alone on a mission becomes the very path she wishes to walk beside. 3. The discipline to walk. Discipline to walk away. Nothing attracts like absence. Nothing communicates value like restraint. The moment you show that you can walk away, everything changes. She sees you not as a desperate man, but as a sovereign one. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control, chasing her after disrespect, or disinterest is a betrayal of yourself, but calmly stepping away with no bitterness, no games, no need for closure. That's power, that's discipline." A smart woman subconsciously wants to know, do you belong to yourself or do you belong to me? The man who walks away with peace in his heart and purpose in his step leaves a deeper mark than the one who begs to stay. And here's the paradox. The moment she realizes you can leave, she sees you as the man worth staying for, not because you threatened, but because you demonstrated strength through silence. She won't ask you to walk away. She'll force the situation and wait. What you do in that moment will define how she sees you forever, for protection, not protection, not possession. It's not about being a warrior with fists. It's about being a guardian with presence. A smart woman wants to feel like your energy can shield her without controlling her. This is the subtle art of masculine protection. You do not demand obedience. You do not monitor her phone. You do not project insecurity. Instead, you build a frame so powerful, so disciplined, that she naturally relaxes into it. The Stoics believed in sympathy, the interconnectedness of all things. You protect her, not as a possession, but as a sacred connection to your nature. The protection is not about dominance. It's about creating a space where trust can breathe. Women are hyper-aware of the masculine energy they submit to. And if you use fear or guilt as a weapon, she'll recoil. But if you protect with quiet, strength-grounded values and emotional steadiness, she will feel safer with you than she ever felt with words. She'll never tell you, but she's watching how you protect what you love. She's waiting to feel that protection when she's at her worst. 5 quiet strength, not loud insecurity. In a society that glorifies noise, the man who doesn't need to prove himself becomes the most powerful man in the room. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." Translation: the strongest man does not react. He refines, he leads, he absorbs the chaos and transmutes it into clarity. A smart woman is drawn to stillness because it signals depth. She knows the man who needs to raise his voice, flaunt his wealth, or dominate conversations is usually covering up emptiness. But the man who listens more than he speaks, who maintains eye contact without blinking, who answers slowly is presence terrifyingly attractive. Your silence speaks louder than your achievements because it tells her, "I fought inner wars you can't see and I won." You don't have to explain yourself. You live your truth, and that quiet strength becomes a presence she craves, even if she doesn't understand why. She won't say she admires your silence, but she'll be addicted to it, because in your restraint, she finds the masculinity. The world forgot 6 unwavering standards. Women test boundaries, not to break them, but to feel their strength. When a smart woman sees a man with no standards, she loses interest, not because she wants to be rejected, but because she wants to be challenged. Epictetus taught, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." She wants to see if you truly live by your code, or if your bend, the moment desire, clouds your judgment when you call out disrespect. Calmly but firmly, she respects you more when you say no to things that do not align with your values. Even if it costs her, you become rare. A man with boundaries is a man with a spine, and a man with a spine is a fortress of self-worth. Women won't admit it, but they're drawn to the edge, that fine line between affection and accountability, between warmth and consequence. She'll never beg you to raise your standards, but she'll be silently testing if you even have any. And if you don't, she'll vanish without a word. 7 presence over performance. You don't need to be rich. You don't need 6-pack abs. You don't need poetic words. But you do need presence. Real presence, the kind that makes her feel like nothing else in the world matters when she's with you. That's the one thing she craves, and the one thing most men cannot give. The Stoics taught us that the only time we truly possess is the present. And yet most men live in the past, overthinking or in the future trying to impress. But women, especially intelligent ones, sense when you're not here, when you are truly present. You listen without planning your next move. You see her not as an object of pleasure or validation, but as a human being. You slow down, you breathe deeper, you become a mirror of consciousness. She won't say it, but when you're fully present, she feels safer, sexier and more seen than any compliment could ever make her feel. Presence is the new seduction, and she'll never forget how your silence made her feel more understood than another man's 1,000 words. Listen, careful. This final message She won't tell you what she really wants, because the moment she tells you, she risks diluting the mystery. But make no mistake, she is testing for it. She's watching who you become when she's silent, who you are when she pulls back. The Stoic man isn't defined by his need to be loved. He's defined by his love of self-mastery, and that is what she desires most, even if she never says,